to make the covers of my book, I've just taken this, it's a piece of chipboard, and it's from the back of like a watercolor tablet, you know, buy the watercolor or mixed media paper. Anyway, it's chipboard, and this one actually already was white, so I did not have to put gesso on it. And I was at a abstract workshop, and the artist instructing, she's like, what's up with the painty paper towels? So she did this paper towel, and so I'm going to use this for the covers, and I'm going to put a little piece of fabric over here. This is just like, I could just go edge to edge with this, but I really want to wrap it around a little bit. So, got my front, this is going to be the front and the back. This is more bold. This is a little bit more diffused. I like that, and I wanted to leave a little bit of turnover, like maybe about a ½ an inch. And so since this is going to be my back cover, I need to flip this. So, I mean, I could do it any way I wanted to. I could even do a different design on there. But I think this is what I'm going to go with, and I'm going to use my matte medium. So what this is going to do, this will turn this way. So whenever you look at it from the back, that's the way it'll be. Alright, so I'm going to get my matte medium ready, and I've got a sponge brush, and I'm using Liquitex matte medium. You could use Mod Podge if you wanted to. Oh, and I left my covers 9 inches, but I cut it to 5 5/8 wide. Both of them are 5 5/8 wide. And because of the moisture going on here, this will cause the board to curve a little bit, but whenever I put the liner on the inside of it, then that will help it to straighten back out again. Because just when the paper is wet, it's just going to do that. So I want to put a good coat, so this will catch in all of the little grooves of the texture of the paper towel. So I can kind of see through here. Alright, let me flip it over so you can see. So I'm going to have fabric that's going to come around this way also. So that gives me, you know, about a ½ an inch on one side, about an inch on the top. So whatever the size of your paper towel or your art piece, press that down real good. Take it off of this for just a second. And I'm going to let that dry, and then I'll come back and I'll put another coat of the medium on the top of it after a while. See if I've got any big bubbles in there. Set that aside. Now for the back, we'll do the same process. I'm going to flip this, so I'll know that that's I'm going to flip it back over whenever I'm ready. So here we go. This paper towel, I've never seen this brand before. This the artist that came was from Kansas, and so they must have a different paper towel up there. But it's a really interesting texture in the paper towel. It's kind of a waffly, wiggly. It doesn't have the circles. All right, so flip it over. Little room at the top and the bottom and off the side. And there's a tear right there. I can't do anything about that. We'll just have to go with that. I may put a little another little embellishing element over the top of that. Okay, to turn it under, I'm going to go ahead and clip off just a little bit, kind of in a curve, a little bit of a curve there and there. And I don't need this much, so let me clip off some of this. And I think I'm out of the frame. Hang on a second and I'll get back in the frame. I'll take off just a little bit. I could actually leave that, but I'm just going to take a little bit off just to show you, you know, if you've got some extra, it's okay to trim it off. That I'm actually going to throw away. I'm not saving that. I do save a lot of little bits, but I'm not saving that. All right. I want to make sure I get it the medium around the edge and where it's going to turn around. Get a good amount on there so it'll stick. And I want to roll that around that edge so it secures good against the thickness of the board, like right there. And then kind of tuck that little corner in just a little bit. I want to put a little bit more medium right there on that, and on that, on the paper itself, so that when we come around the corner, this will stick. You can wear gloves if you want to. I'll just pretend like I'm in grade school and like I put Elmer's glue on my fingers and have like second skin to peel off. I know you probably didn't do that when you were in grade school in the 50s. Oh, sorry, in the 50s, yes. Okay, so I've got that all touched in, got a nice little corner there. Look at from the front, nice smooth. This is the edge that we'll have the fabric, a little liner there, and this is the edge that we'll do our stitching from. So I'm going to repeat the same process on the back cover. I want to go ahead and put a little protective barrier over this. I don't know that I'm going to do any more embellishing on this, but I did want the surface protected a little bit. So, and I'll let this dry. Go ahead and do the back the same way. My covers are dry, and so I've got a piece of marbled cardstock, and I've already cut it, and I cut it to, so I've got a 1/2 inch on each side, and I cut it to 5 1/4. And so just, you know, just a little bit in. And again, I'm going to put some fabric here that's going to wrap around, so I can even scoot this over a little bit if I want to. All right, so now we're going to use the matte medium to stick this down. And you could use tacky glue or PVA, or it does not have to be matte medium. You could actually use something else. And so I'm going to put this over to the side and put a couple of these sticks on the edges so that it will lay flat. And these are just little pieces of lumber that I've used for a while for, obviously you can tell, for painting on. Now continue this and do the same thing on the back cover. Hey there, it's Nathalie, and it's been a little minute since I've been here. So in this video I want to show you how to do a Coptic stitch journal. So there's a couple of things. One is that the cover is going to be made with painty paper towels. Now I have an online class that's fixing to start on how to implement or use your painty paper towels that you've retrieved from maybe the trash can or dumpster diving or whatever. Anyway, and so we'll make the cover, the front and back cover, and then I'm going to show you how to do the Coptic stitch on there. It's really cool because the books, when they open up, they lay flat. Anyway, all right, so don't go away. My covers are nice and dry. Now, let me tell you, like putting the fabric on these edges, this is totally optional because you could just do another piece of paper or another piece of paper towel. You could have run this all the way to the edge and then just, you know, because it was wide enough to go from edge to edge, and just cut that off. But this is this is kind of my thing that I like to do. But I want to show you a little bit of my process. So I wanted to do a batik, and again, no particular reason, just because I happen to like that. So I went through some of my stash of stuff. This is 2 orange, and I just want to show you the process. Although that's kind of interesting. This is just some little strips that I had. I think I got these at like Walmart or something. So the colors on this, I'll move that out of the way. The colors on this are right, and I have enough, but I don't really care for that. It's splotchy, kind of like this is. But I'm gonna set that there because it could be an option, but maybe not really. Then I had this little piece of batik, and it's got like lots of yummy colors in it. Open that out, but to me it's got a little bit too much purple in it, and sometimes it's just like whenever you hit that one's like, oh yeah, that's it. This is not it, just saying. So it's got a lot of the good colors. It's got butterfly patterns on it that could work, but let me show you what I landed on, what I finally decided on. And I love this. I love this against this. And so we've got a couple of places. There's a little bit of the purpley blue stuff in there. I like this pink. So this is what I'm going to use. And so let me show you. It's only going to be about this much of it showing. And it's just a little extra touch. That's all it is. Just a little extra touch. So I'm going to measure and see how much I need. And then I'll let you know. So I want it 2 inches wide and then 9 3/4 long. And I mean, I could go from either side. This one's got a little bit more blue in it. Let's look and see. Yep, this is the side that I want. So 2 inches wide, and I'm just going to tear this. All right, I've marked me a little tiny mark in at 1 inch, and I'm going to use some Aleene's tacky glue. This is the clear. Oops, got a little boo-boo on the tip. And I'm going to go ahead and get the glue on this one too while I'm there. And I'm just going to use my finger to smooth this out. You could use a brush if you want to. Sometimes I like to just get messy. Put a little bit over on the edge. Alright, I have glued the back side, the wrong side of the fabric. Now attach it. Those are glued, and so it's time to let it dry. So I'm going to put these on my sticks where the glued surfaces are not touching the paper.